2 minutes.
Yeah. I can assure you I'm very sincere, Minister, about addressing climate change, and our policy is very detailed. We just produced quite an extensive document on it, and our budget submission, which we produce every year, also shows precisely how we will pay for it on a whole range of areas. I'll go through them now, but they would include, for example, aviation fuel charges, right, where you raise a lot of money on the people who actually make profit from polluting. Okay? That's the difference. Or on the big agri-food barons, who are actually making profit out of one of the big polluting areas, not the small beef farmer who's struggling to survive. Don't punish him or her, but punish the guys who are declaring their profits in Luxembourg and making a fortune out of this sector. And use that money, indeed, to ensure just transition for the small farmer. But I have to question the government's bona fides on this. Right? One, they don't address the problem that the putting a price on pollution has failed, because we've been doing it for several decades, right, with carbon trading and with carbon taxes. Hasn't worked. Hasn't worked. And I defy anybody to show me any evidence that will allow us to meet the targets in the 11 years we have. We need much more radical actions. And that means focusing on the main areas: energy. Okay, stop issuing fossil fuel licences now. Do not lock us into liquid natural gas infrastructure that will lock us into fossil fuel use for decades. Housing, other big sector. Okay, we need to retrofit about 120,000 homes a year, every year, for 20 years, and that means the state is going to have to do it. Nobody else can afford it. It has to be done by the state. Transport has to be made cheaper, and the subsidies have to increase. You will not get people out of cars unless you provide the better public transport. And I have been, more than anybody else in this House, since the time I've been here, I have raised the issue of afforestation. Right since the year one I got in here, the need to up the pathetic levels of forest cover in this country, where our targets are pathetic, but our delivery on those targets is about 50% of our targets, and has been consistently since I got into this stall. And even the forest we do is worse for the environment than no forestry in many cases. Right, so we need to dramatically change the forestry model and increase it. And we need to invest in renewable energy and in the research and development around producing renewable energy resources. That means funding our universities, and we're not doing that either.